Dr. Debora Kayembe is a human rights lawyer, having been honored with degrees of doctorate, honoris causa, and ambassador from the University of Kinshasa and two other universities. She speaks English, French, Lingala, Kikongo, and Swahili, as well as two other languages. She is a member of the Office of the Prosecutor at the International Criminal Court and became Lord Rector of the prestigious University of Edinburgh in 2021. It's an honor to interview you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You'll be participating in the 10th Nishan Forum on World Civilizations here in Qufu, China. For you, what is the importance of understanding one another's cultures?
So I always say our differences is our strength because they are more which unite us than divide us. And I think this forum just come at a time where the world is falling apart. And it is important for us to come together and to discuss this matter as it is needed right now, where we can build an environment of tolerance and where we can have a durable peace.
Can you tell us a little bit about the culture of your birth in the DRC? What would you like Westerners to know?
Well, the Congo had the biggest kingdoms and strongest kingdoms in the whole African continent. And colonialism was in the heart of breaking this kingdom into pieces. I am one of the descendants of those kingdoms. I am the princess of the Nkeka in the Katanga region. So in my culture, until this day, women are only princess, they're not queen yet. The kingdom is a manhood matter until now. So there are little progress being made where now we're seeing the consideration of women taking the role as women kings, but they're not really queen like the Queen Elizabeth we have seen in the UK. So languages, the Congo has 340 tribes, more than 3,000 dialects being spoken. So it's really a place where civilization has lived side by side, but because of the power that it was bringing to, colonialism came to break it into pieces and to divide it.
Is this your first time in China?
This is my first visit in China. So I had the first visit, my second visit in China. The first one was in Zhengzhou almost a month ago. First time in Beijing, first time in Qufu. So very interesting to discover what is it to me here. I understand this is the birthplace of Confucius, which is the master of civilization of the Chinese people. I am very curious to know more about him, to understand what heritage he has left to the Chinese people.
Do you think there is a connection between celebrating one another's cultures and the formation of a foundation for global peace?
First, you need to go back at the time of colonization where colons came to places, one place or another, in order to control, he dominated. He took away all the culture, all the language of autochthone people in order to impose his and dominate. So the role of this forum, and it's very clear, family culture and saving civilizations, making a world a better place. So family is the key of all nations. If the family is well prepared, if each and every family on this earth understood the culture of one another and tolerates their way of living, how can we not build a long-lasting peace around us? Because we know if I'm crossing there, in that door, I can't wear slippers. I have to go without my slippers. So I respect that. But if I'm going to the other door, people wearing slippers, you refuse them, you bring your boots and walk on it. Where is the peace? So the exercise here is the exercise of tolerance, but also the exercise of knowing the person next to you, understand that person, and respect his culture.
I was thinking the last few days, getting ready for this forum, about what I do know and what I don't know about world civilizations. I was thinking about what I do know about my own civilization, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and what I know about Chinese civilization, because I know quite a bit about Confucius, I know quite a bit about Lao Tzu, and maybe I know a little bit about Gandhi, who is from South Asia. But I realized, and I think this is indicative of most people in the West, that I know very little about African philosophers. So could you tell us, where can we start? Can you give us one or two or three examples of famous African philosophers that we can get started on learning about this civilization? I was thinking about what I do know and what I don't know about world civilizations, since this is the forum that we're getting ready for in the last couple days, about my knowledge and about my ignorance. And I know quite a bit about Western philosophy, contemporary and ancient, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, and a little bit about China too, Confucius and Lao Tzu. And I realize I don't know much about African philosophers. So could you tell me, where can I get started? Where can our listeners get started in better understanding African philosophers?
There are so many in colonial times that the history was buried and deformed by the colon. But in modern time, Kwame Nkrumah, the Ghanaian, Patrice Lumumba, the Congolese, Nelson Mandela, the South African. In this modern time, Africa has produced people who thought, the tolerance, the respect, and their identity to be respected for who they were and why they have lived. The problem is this education has been buried. There is no effort today to bring into the whole level people understanding other people's civilization and respecting them. That was my fight as rector of Edinburgh Uni. I told management at Edinburgh Uni, it is time to decolonize our curriculum. It is time to tell stories that we have decided to bury so we can dominate other people, because it brings this ignorance and destroy ourselves. It doesn't help us.